Hello, everybody. I'm getting ready to go do some Black Friday shopping, and I figured I would yap to you while I do my makeup. I was gonna do it while I do my hair, but my curling iron straightener thingy has this really loud fan on it, and I would just be screaming at you, really. But you can see the finished product of my hair, which when I sit down and take the hour to curl my hair, I that's when I feel my best. So I'm really trying to make that a priority. So I today I'm going shopping to get a birthday gift for my mom and a Christmas gift for me from her. I think I want to go get like a little cozy sweatsuit or something. But we'll see. And I don't know what else I'm gonna get. Maybe I'll have Greek for lunch because I almost always get Greek when I go to the mall. Um, oh my God, I've been yapping a lot just because I have a lot to talk about. But I booked an EMDR. Well, I booked an intake appointment at a place that does EMDR therapy. So I'm doing that next week, which is good. Um, and I'm gonna go get an oil change today too. These are things that have been on my to-do list for a while. And yeah, I'm just trying to like my parents are on their way back from San Francisco. So my week of rest and relaxation is over. I literally got these on Temu, but this is like a little blush pen thing. So you like I don't wear that much makeup. I literally just put like a little bit of like foundation on my zits and like not even foundation, sorry, concealer, blush, mascara, lip gloss, highlighter, but these little pens, like you just dab them on like this, and obviously I'm gonna oh, blend it in. Um, but yeah, especially like I don't use bronzer because I'm so freaking pale, and as a redhead, I feel like it just makes me look crazy. But I like contour my face using blush, if that makes sense. Um, but freaking every time I use these, it's like people look at me like I'm like the most stunning person ever. Like I went to the dispensary the other day and I just saw this girl that like I always see. She's like, "You look really pretty." I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, well, thank you, but I think I always do. But I know what she meant. It was the Temu glow. My skin has been going a little bit crazy lately. Like it really, obviously on camera, it doesn't even look that bad, but I don't like use filters or anything. When I was quite young, like probably like 13 or 14, I got really bad cystic acne out of nowhere. Like I'm talking like all over like my cheeks and stuff. And this friend gave me really bad advice to try to pop it all. And so I still have like scars and stuff, but like as an adult, I've been relatively lucky with clear skin. But just like as all of these old things come up out of me to purge, it's been like oh, how did I describe it to my man the other day? Like I was saying, like life keeps bring me back around to situations. I love these freckles here that make a Y. I don't know why they've been there as long as I can remember, but I don't know why. I feel like that means something. Um, but I was trying to explain to him that like yeah, like things that I've experienced um when I was younger that like felt like the end of the world before, like those things are almost like coming back around for me to experience them as this more whole version of myself. Um, just to like prove to myself, like, girl, it was never that deep. Like, yeah, you were like entitled to have feelings about like everything you've experienced, but like, like I just things don't phase me the way they used to. And being able to see that is really empowering. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for everything. That is one thing. I think I talked about this in one of my first videos that I made like months ago too. It's like men just like sometimes they struggle with like gratitude because I was like talking to my man about that the other day and I was, whoa, watching this thing like expand is kind of gross. But I was just kind of like telling him like I don't know, was he having a bad day? I don't know, but I was just saying like name three things you're grateful for. And he's like, "Oh my God, like do we have to do this right now?" I was like, "Yeah, we do." And then I was like, "You know what? If you don't want to do it, I'm just gonna name some things I'm grateful for anyways because I can." And I feel like he was expecting me to just like put him at the top of the list, but actually I named about seven things I was grateful for before I even got to him. And that made me really happy too, because I think when I was younger, like I was like, life is only worth living if someone has a crush on me. But um now life is only worth living if I have a crush on me, which is awesome. And I pretty much always have a crush on me. Like I don't really flop in the way I used to. And I don't really like put my emotions in other people's hands the way I used to. You see the fucking Temu glow, bitch. Insane. And I got Temu eyebrow gel too. Yeah. Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about recently that I just like haven't gotten around to yet is like all these transits that are ending to me. I've like briefly talked about them. Look. I briefly talked about them. So one that just ended the other day was Saturn conjunct my Venus. And I'm actually gonna Google right now, what does that even mean? So we can talk about it. Can just in a broader sense because I want to get like a um like okay, so it says can bring disadvantage, isolation, and sadness. Bitch. Um, you may find it difficult to express love and affection, but easy to be cold and mean. Relationships suffer the most with this transit, but you could also experience some financial hardship at this time. So it's literally like, yes. Okay. So God was forcing me, like this started, I don't know, like 8 months ago, earlier this year. It was like I was forced to like stop my Pisces Venus heart from yearning. And it was like, okay, let's lock in. Let's lock in. And I struggled with that at first because it was like I felt the need to fix all these men in my life. And not even from a romantic standpoint, okay, but it was like my dad was having surgery and just like not doesn't know how to deal with trauma appropriately. I just had all these men in my life that like I felt responsible for. I was not responsible for any of them, but I was just like distracting myself from my purpose, trying to solve their problems. Like literally looking for apartments for men in another country. Why are you wasting your beautiful energy like that? So now I've reined my energy in a lot more and I've come out the other side of that more fruitful. Um, is there anything else that this says? Let's see. Transit. An existing relationship may be tested by distance or separation and a general inability to connect meaningfully. I have been experiencing that. My man lives in New York. I live in fucking buttfuck Alberta. Issues involving guilt or disloyalty may be the source of the problem. A healthy relationship will easily pass this test and may lead to more significant commitment. So I have like said goodbye to a lot of people throughout this chapter of my life, if you know what I mean. But it's like it has aligned me with the person that I could most clearly see myself doing life with. And I've never experienced that before. So all I can do at this point is trust that like that will align. And if not, then something even better will happen because that's just what keeps happening on this journey. Um, this also says a love relationship on shaky grounds may not last, but generally other indicators need to be in your chart or theirs. Our charts are literally like it's like destiny, like we're meant to be together. Any sadness or painful experiences endured now will be karmic lessons that lead to greater understanding of mutual love and respect or loyalty. Women, especially, are more subject to suffering domestic violence. Well, I'm glad that I didn't endure that. That's one thing I've never endured. I've didn't endured like emotional abuse from men before for sure, but like I've never been hit and never will be speaking that into existence. I was actually, I mean, I was assaulted by multiple different men, so I think that's like lifetimes and lifetimes worth of karma. So, eh. A new romance that would be very karmic is possible now based on practical considerations and may involve your career. Um, no, I've gone through enough karmics for one lifetime. A noticeable age difference is also potential. He's only 4 years older than me, so it's almost kind of perfect. This is not a good time for, I don't want to see this ad, Google. I don't know what this says. This is not a good time for what? The words are blocked. Disc test. Let me copy and paste. For partying, as you will generally feel depressed and more concerned with matters of a serious nature. It's an excellent time to learn to budget correctly and reduce funds running short in the future. Starting a savings plan would be a good idea now. So that is another thing too. Yeah, I did just kind of turn my focus more towards like, okay, how can I create financial abundance in my life? Not even just financial abundance, but like abundance period in my life and like in the lives of those that I care about who also are like feeding into me, you know? So that was a fun 8 months. It was a very lonely time. Once again, I walk a lonely road, but I've like learned to love myself so much more like through it all, which is amazing. And again, I came out on top. I came out the other side. I'm bright and shiny, and I trust that like I've been in the hanged man, okay? I've been fucking upside down. The universe is holding me by my shoelaces, shaking the lunch money out of my pocket, saying, put this in your savings account. Don't worry about men. Put this in your savings account. And yeah. And all I could do was trust. There's this photo of naked Homer Simpson floating through the universe. And I posted it on Tumblr a few weeks ago. I said, this is how it feels to trust the process. And that is exactly how I feel. And not mad about it. And the other transit I am about to end on December 5th that I want to read to you about is Pluto squaring my midheaven. Oh boy, this one was fun. So it says, Pluto square midheaven transit can make you more ambitious to get ahead and be noticed, which is true in my old job. Like I was like, okay, I have solutions to all your problems, and I was trying to show them that, and they were very stuck in their masculine toxic ways, their King of Wands ways. Um, Deeply repressed anger and hatred can come to the surface now. Correct. If you let this affect your motivation through jealousy or greed, you will experience many challenges and extreme resistance. I wouldn't say I was so much greedy. I was just trying to get enough to eat. I don't think I was so, maybe I was jealous of people who it's like their lives. Like I'm like, oh my God, like you're making enough money that it's like you can go out and do all the things you want to do. Whereas like I work my ass off and I have enough to pay my rent and then sit at home and enjoy the apartment I pay for. Um, but we've moved past all of that now. Um, an intense determination to succeed and have control of your destiny can result in extreme immoral and unethical behavior. Um, I did take to doing some sultry girl things when I needed extra money. It's whatever. It's fine. Like, I mean, I've been like abstinent, right, because of everything I've been working through, but it's like, I'm a good-looking girl. Why would I not profit off of that? Like, I don't anymore, and I haven't for like several months now, but in the moment, that did what it needed to do for me. I feel like that was like a past lifetime for me. This sounds maybe crazy. Like, obviously, I think I was Anne Boleyn in a past life. I think I talked about that more on TikTok than on here. I know I was an indigenous little girl who died very young in a past life. I think that I've been like an aborted soul once or twice. And what did this just say? Oh, yeah, I feel like I've been like a sex worker or something before. I don't know. Just feels like very familiar territory to me. The more you try to manipulate, cheat, or intimidate, the further you will be from your goal. You could also make powerful enemies or have problem with bosses, the law, immigration, or taxation. Um, I'm a freelance worker, so taxes are kind of like my enemy, but actually I did my my 2023 taxes. I think they're supposed to be sent in by April. I finally did them the other day. I've been putting that off for 6 months. And I feel like that's part of because Kate, if you're on like a twin flame, divine counterpart, whatever the fuck kind of journey, okay, I'm the feminine energy. So all this spiritual, esoteric, like healing stuff comes very naturally to me. But it's like, okay, yes, I'm doing that work, but if I'm not also like balancing that like with my masculine energy, and masculine energy is like in the physical realm, paying taxes, like supporting yourself, setting a foundation, you know what I mean? Like if I couldn't balance those two, the person that I'm hoping to build a life with would just keep being repelled further and further away from me. But the more I lean into those things, the more he's able to heal his feminine side. You know, it's like we're yin and yang. Okay. It's a very beautiful process. And it's so funny too, because if I ever feel like distant from him, like probably a year ago, um, that version of me would have been very like, oh my God, it's because I'm not good enough. I need to prove myself or I need to go get attention from someone else. Whereas now I'm like, okay, he feels kind of far away. What can I do that's more rooted in my masculine energy that like, maybe I've been avoiding or just what can I do for that, because then not even just because I want him to be closer to me, obviously I do. He's so important to me, but it's like I just know. It makes it very abundantly clear, like his proximity to me makes it very clear what my next right step is sometimes. And then also just my intuition, you know? And I also like how I've explained it to him too, is it's like I feel as though it's like the more I choose me, the more closely I like my authentic higher self, not my ego, the more closely the universe just naturally brings him and I together, right? And there was a point too, because it was like not that I'm a needy person, but it's like there's so much distance between us. So it's like I like to be able to like check in and like talk kind of like, a few minutes every day on the phone. But like we're being pushed through the fucking eye of the needle right now. So it's like maybe we can't like kiki for 20 minutes every day. And like so I've had to just kind of like learn to like trust and push past that and everything because it's like he said to me, he's like, I want to be able to trust that if I'm doing what's best for me, then it's going to bring me closer to you. And like if I am feeling like like you're always waiting on me. And not even that I sit around waiting for him, but it's like I want to hear from you. But he's like, I want to be able to trust that, like, I can do what I need to do over here to get us to our future. And so like we've been able to have those discussions and I feel like we're both on the same page, but it's just, yeah, like I see it more in an esoteric spiritual sort of way and he sees it more in like a practical, logical, Taurian grounded sort of way, which is like a perfect balance. Um, Beware of a subconscious tendency to try to change other people primarily through subversive or underhanded tactics. I was definitely very guilty of doing this, like how I was talking about, like with all the people in my life where I just felt like they needed my help. Like in a sense, like I had only the purest intentions. I wanted to see these people do better. I didn't want to see them suffering. But then in like, maybe I would be like, oh, okay, like, I just got this guidance to share with you because I always do that. Like if anything comes to me psychically, I'm like, oh, let me just tell you about this. But it's like, then maybe I'm looking at them, like I give them this guidance and I expect them to do with it how I would do with it if someone gave me advice or if I gave me advice, I guess, if that makes any sense at all. Um, and they wouldn't because they're men and men aren't supposed to be like women, or even just like if I gave a woman advice and she didn't listen to it, like it's not up to me to sit around and wait and see what you do with your life. It's up to me to live my life and hopefully inspire other people to be their best selves along the way. So glad I know better now. If you are shy and submissive, I'm not shy. I'm only submissive if, oh God, I'm probably not submissive to anyone except for one person. Um, Beware of others trying to interfere in your life, dominate, use, or abuse you. Your career and home life will likely undergo significant changes whether you want it or not. Yeah. I mean, back in my parents' house for now, I have this is literally just my closet. Like my closet. My closet is probably the size of some people's apartments. Okay. And then I have this giant room behind me. Like, it's just like I'm paying very little money. I'm making a lot of money. So everything is good. Everything seems like, when you're 25 years old, maybe you don't want to be living with your parents. And there definitely are a lot of like annoyances that come with that. But at the end of the day, I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I'm safe. And it's testing my integrity. Maybe I either talked about this on YouTube or somewhere. Maybe I talked about this on fucking TikTok live, but it's like I was on my own for 2 years, right? And then as this transit started was like my last year by myself. And so it's like in that time I learned how to become. And then moving back in with my parents was a test of integrity. It's like, okay, you know who you are, you know what you want, you know where you're going. Now you're back with the people who maybe don't always make you feel so good about yourself, or like they just don't know how to take care of themselves, or you feel responsible for them, whatever. So it's just testing my integrity, which is really important because I feel like I need this before. I've never lived with a man before, but me and this man are going to live together. I want to save my integrity. I don't want my Pisces Venus ass to lose myself to him. Like I want to, um, I don't know. I just want to be my best self and I want him to be his best self. I want everyone to be their best self. Let's do that, bitches. Um, oh God. Fucking ads. Like, do I not have an ad blocker on? Something about transformation. Okay, sorry, I need to paste this somewhere else so I can read the whole thing. Ooh. Sometimes that can involve destruction followed by rebuilding. Yeah, let's talk about it. Losing employment can lead to a new and more satisfying career. Very true. Your home may need fixing or you may need to relocate. So I moved from one city to another. Um, a significant relationship may need to transform or end. So this whole twin flame thing is very confusing, but I met someone who I would consider, okay, I guess a twin flame, right? Activated me. All right, activated me. And then I went on this whole thing of, again, he's the person I was fucking looking for apartments in a different country for because I just felt so karmically responsible for him. And I was like, oh my God, if you never get better, then we're never going to be able to do this together. And all this work I've done is for naught. But the work was not for naught because that was preparation for I think they call it a divine counterpart. Yeah. So, I've transformed a lot of relationships though in the past few years. This is driving me crazy. Like, why is this information? Let me see what this last paragraph says, and then I'll leave you guys alone. Or maybe I'll finish getting ready. Such complex changes can lead to introspection and a search for deeper meaning. That's just everything I do. I'm always looking for deeper meaning. I can't help it. Uh, there's like a post on Tumblr, and it was like, um, not everything has to mean something. And someone replied to it, "Hi, Apollo." They're like, what do you mean by that?" I'm that person. This could lead you to question traditional religious beliefs. I've been doing that since I was like 10 years old. Investigate spirituality. Again, Scorpio, eighth house. Pisces, just all that energy is very heavy within me. Astrology, reincarnation, or other paranormal or esoteric subjects. All of that is just my jam. I've become more psychic than ever in the last year. And actually, ever since I stopped taking my medication too, especially, I just feel so tapped in. I'm being live. Apollo's up there. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna go get ready and go do some shopping and living my best life and hopefully inspiring you to do the same. Mwah! Love ya.